Welcome, come on in. Have you ever been told that hard work is the way to get ahead in life? The stories we learn from about money from childhood are very important. They can shape for better or worse the way we approach the earning of it and what we do once we've acquired some. So today I want to talk to you about the biggest false belief about money I hear all the time from clients and prove to you that it is holding you back from financial freedom. Ready? Stick with me until the end and I'll show you the asset class that you can buy or build that will pay you passively every single month. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sarah Nicole Nadler. I'm a money coach for businesswomen and I can help you become a confident investor. I used to hustle every day of the week. I owned a wedding business, and so all week long I fielded questions from brides, and then on the weekend I worked 15 plus hours to set up, host, and break down weddings with my assistant. So, being a business owner to me always meant long hours and frustratingly little time with my husband, Ben. Then one day I realized I was going to work hard until the day I died if I didn't change something. And I knew in that moment that I had a false belief about money. Now, if you're interested in the workbook that goes with this free training, check it out on my website, sarahnicolenettler.com/investher giveaway. You'll learn how to reduce your investment risk and gain confidence as an investor. So go download my free guide now. All right. If I were ever to write a memoir, it would probably be titled Rich Dad, Poor Mom, because my parents, who divorced when I was a year old, were a lesson in how your beliefs shape your income. My mom, who raised me, was a broke middle school teacher. Dad was the successful business owner. It didn't take a genius to see the differences in the way they handled money. The story my mom always told about money was working hard is the way to get ahead. And she really practiced what she preached. I never saw her take a day off unless school was closed. But despite that, she never seemed to get ahead. Dad's stories about money were completely different. To him, money was never a dirty subject. He was fascinated about it. And as his oldest child, I was the beneficiary of his wisdom on the subject, whether I wanted it or not, every time I visited him. He spent hours explaining how he negotiated this business deal and got a discount from that vendor, closed this client or that account, and where he was investing right now and why. Making money work for him by leveraging other people's time profitably was the moral of every story Dad told about making money. So here I was, stuck in the middle of two conflicting stories, two conflicting philosophies about money. Which one was true? Is hard work the only honest way to get ahead? Then why is mom always broke? Dad never seems to work as hard as she does, but he makes way more. Does that make him a bad person? These thoughts rolled around in my head for a few years, and it wasn't until decades later that I really truly solved this for myself. You want to know the answer, the real truth about money? It isn't hard work that gets you ahead. Your income level is in direct proportion to your ability to deliver value in exchange for money, not necessarily deliver your time in exchange for money. So, what do I mean by delivering value? To people who are very busy, time is a valuable asset, right? If they're also wealthy, in addition to being busy, they're often willing to give you their money in exchange for your time. Hence, we have the modern American way of earning income, which is to sell your time to someone else for their money. But just because it's popular does not mean this is the only ethical way to earn income. The reason working hard at your job is an ethical way to earn income is because when you do so, you're providing value to your employer. The value is in whatever you produce at your job. It's not actually the time you put in that's valuable, it's the value of what you produced. But there are a lot of other ways to provide value. One of my favorite ways to provide value that's not tied to your time is using this asset class called intellectual property. Intellectual property is any unique creative thing that you have designed, which, believe it or not, you can use to earn income not tied to your time. Up on the screen, I've got a couple of examples. Patented inventions. If you invented a new process, product, or technology, that's your intellectual property. Also, trademarks. Any distinctive logos, names, symbols used in your business, that's your intellectual property. Any copyrighted content, like a book you wrote, music you wrote, art that you created, software. For a full list of intellectual property ideas, go to my website at sarahnicolenadler.com/passive IP. So here's some interesting statistics for you. Michael Jordan made $250 million last year alone from licensing his name to Nike. So did he go into Nike and actually personally create shoes? No. Did he design them? No. Did he sell them? No. All he did was let Nike use his name on the shoe. Another example, J.K. Rowling made approximately $50 million last year licensing the various copyrighted names of the Harry Potter universe to places like Disney and clothing stores and wand makers, etc. Now let's think about this for a second. How much did Jordan make actually physically playing basketball? Not nearly as much as he makes licensing out his name. How much did J.K. Rowling make per hour while she was writing Harry Potter? Not a stinking dime, right? Not 1 pound, not 1 English pound did she make writing her book. It wasn't trading her time for money that earned her money. It was the value of the book once it was created, and she continues to earn passive income off the value of that created universe today. So, how do we leverage these assets once we've bought or built them, right? Buying or building it may require some time for money, but once you've acquired that asset, how do we use it to earn passive income? Well, let me show you the 3-step process you need to leverage your intellectual property as a businesswoman. Number 1, you have to create something that has amazing value. This is the part where you may need to trade some time, right? It's really hard to sell your intellectual property if it sucks. How much would Jordan have made if he sucked at basketball? Probably not very much, right? Mahomes, Travis Kelce, all these guys, they're able to leverage their names to earn passive income now because they first became amazing athletes. It's also really hard to apply this strategy if you're super vague about the way you position your offer. If J.K. Rowling wrote a 7-series book series, right, called Harry Potter, but book 1 was what we think of as Harry Potter, and then book 2 was a spicy fantasy romance, and then book 3 in this series was actually a textbook on astrophysics, her audience would be so stinking confused and uncertain about what her next book would be topicked on that the Harry Potter brand probably wouldn't be worth very much today, right? So to do this successfully, we need to create a value-driven idea or a framework or an app or digital product or whatever, some kind of intellectual property, and it needs to solve one specific problem for one super specific type of person. Luckily, if you're a successful businesswoman or a successful artist, you likely already have a product or service that's pretty great. So the first step for you is to document your process or package up your offer in a way that makes your intellectual property marketable. Okay, here are some examples. In 2018, I packaged up my 10 years of experience as a wedding professional into the Portland Bride School Workshop, an online and in-person workshop, which I then licensed to wedding professionals who could teach couples how to plan their own wedding using my methodology. In January 2020, I packaged up my wedding brand logo, the website, the automated onboarding processes, my social media following, my email list, packaged all that up, and I sold that business to an up-and-coming wedding professional. In 2021, I licensed my creative works, and I continue to do so today. My young adult fantasy series, which is published under a pen name, I have licensed out the rights to that book to artists and Etsy store owners who are creating things like t-shirts and bookmarks and jewelry and other swag based on the fiction universe I created, and they pay me royalties every time they sell it. Here are a few other examples of clients I've helped to do the same. A keto baker, I helped her trademark her recipes and license them out to restaurants and bakeries instead of making the desserts herself. An eye doctor. I helped him package up his 30 years of experience solving dry eye for patients into an online course that his team sells instead of him having to individually see patients himself. A dentist. I helped him package up his 20 years of experience preventing tooth decay into an online course that he sells through an automated sales funnel instead of him performing time intensive dental exams all day. There are dozens and dozens of other examples I could name, but you get the point. The takeaway here is you have to have an expertise or an incredible product or service or idea to offer first. Next, we have to automate your sales process. This is where 99% of people miss the opportunity because they're lazy and unwilling to put in the work, right? To make your intellectual property a passive income stream and escape hustle culture, you have to automate the sales process. And that often takes time or money or both. But don't overcomplicate it. Just because it said it's hard work does not mean it can't be simple. Here's an example. I use a free software called Stripe to accept payments in a 100% automated way. When I'm talking with an artist who wants a license to use my creative work, or a content creator or an expert who's hoping to use my expertise to serve their audience with financial education, during the negotiation stage, I simply make sure that that party has a Stripe account and I connect my account to theirs. That way, a percentage of their revenue comes to me automatically as determined by our contract. You could also use a sales funnel tool like Leadpages, Go High Level, or ClickFunnels, or affiliate marketing software to accomplish the same thing. Whatever method you're using, just make sure that the sales process is automated and you have a legal contract to protect your rights. All right, step number 3. Here's how we're going to do this very differently than an online business or a content creator who's trading their time for money. Remember, we're looking for passive income. So instead of you hustling on social media, creating tons of content, running paid advertising to drive traffic into the funnel, you're going to leverage the OPA strategy using other people's audiences. First, you want to make a list of content creators, small business owners, and brands who solve a similar but not competitive problem for the same people. Now, step 2, reach out and offer a partnership or collaboration opportunity. And lastly, using the win-win paradigm, negotiate a contract to sell or lease the rights to your intellectual property so they can use it to serve their audience with extra value that brings additional income to them, and charge a percentage of sales or a percentage of profits for the use of your intellectual property. You'll want to have a relationship with a lawyer who specializes in intellectual property rights to look over your contract and make sure you have everything covered. I have one on board inside the Passive Income Pathway to help you if you're interested in working with me inside my program. So you're also going to need to master negotiation skills, which we also teach inside the Passive Income Pathway as well. So if you want the free guide that talks about this and how to set up your family, set up your business to be ready to invest and become a confident investor, go to sarahnicolenadler.com/investher giveaway. And if you're looking for a little bit more help to actually walk you through step by step exactly how to set all of this up and have my team or I helping you to do so, check out my paid program. It's called the Passive Income Pathway at sarahnicolenadler.com/passive. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.